Come on. Come on, computer. You can do it. Hello, go live. Here we are, going live.
So it says
Going live.
Bake an air fryer. We don't have an air fryer.
We're going live.
What do I do? It only says bake an air fryer. Do I deep fry it?
You can throw it in deep fryer for a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Oh man, I wish this cough would go away. Since that Canadian wildfire thing that went on, supposedly, supposedly I'm perfectly healthy, from what the doctor said, but it's not the case because I've got this nasty cough that just doesn't want to go away, and a frog in my throat that doesn't want to go away. But you know what? I need to stop blaming, because the moment you stop blaming is the moment you become a leader. And there's that moment in every leader's life when something snaps. See, it's not a breakdown, it's a breakthrough. A moment where you stop looking at everything around you as the reason you're not where you're at, you're not where you want to be, but you finally look inward at why you're not where you want to be. Because see, blame is loud. What?
Can I use half this can and then put tinfoil on it and put it in the fridge?
I would recommend taking it out of the can and putting it into another container.
Okay. Why?
Huh?
Why?
Because cans, metal cans try and decompose once they're opened, and that's got acid in it of some sort, and it'll create sort of poison.
It has acid?
Yes, it's
So
a
I
cheese
take
sauce.
it out of the can?
Yes, take it out of the can.
It says it's made with the real cheese.
That's okay. So blaming is loud. Blaming is easy. Blaming is comfortable. Blaming gives you a story that protects your ego, but it also destroys your future. See, blaming is the easy man's way out of accepting responsibility. Blaming is the language of stagnation. And we all know what happens with stagnation, right? Stagnation is decay. And you know what decay is, right? It's death. We don't want to be on the harbinger of death. And the opposite of blaming is ownership. When you take ownership, when you take ownership of something, you actually elevate yourself to a whole new level. When you take ownership, you actually become the leader. Because when you stop blaming, you stop bleeding the energy of letting your potential leak out of you by saying that somebody else's fault. It's somebody else's fault. It's something else's fault. It's somebody else's problem. It's somebody else's whatever. You stop handing your power over to somebody else. You stop handing your power to people who didn't even earn it, or situations that don't deserve it.
I attempted, did not succeed.
Case in point. This girl's going to starve to death when I'm dead and gone.
No, because by then I'll have a husband and a son who knows how to do that.
Because you can't open cans.
Oh, my bad, bro. Demon and Parrot can't open cans either.
She wants to be a surgeon, and she can't open a can.
I don't use a can opener during surgery. What am I going to do? Take the lid off her liver?
No, but there is times when you take the lid off people.
I'm not going to be a neurosurgeon.
Oh, okay. Case in point, blaming. Anyways, when you stop blaming, you stop leading your energy out to giving it to other people who doesn't earn it. Giving to other situations that doesn't deserve it. Blaming is the easy way out. It's the comfort level coming out of you. It's the it's the lazy way. Because leadership begins the moment you say, if it's in my hands, it's in my control. A little story. As years ago, I was partner in a security company. And one of the things that I really couldn't stand was the fact that my partner was off in Las Vegas spending all the money while I was the one taking care of making sure the clients were taken care of when the technicians were, you know, calling off, or the security guards were calling off sick. And it was one of those things where money was disappearing left and right, and he's off in Las Vegas talking about how he's securing clients. Right. Our clients are in Chicago, not Las Vegas. And so it's one of those things that I realized after a while, and I got my butt out of that project, but I realized that if I'm not the one focusing on finding my own clients, if I'm not the one focusing on taking care of my own bills, if I'm not the one focusing on taking care of my own income, then it's not my control anymore. And my business will fail, which is what happened with that security company. That security company failed so miserably, I had to file bankruptcy over it. And you know what? You when you try and hand people control and blame other people for that problem, oh, it's his fault for trying and blowing all the money. No, it's my fault for not being more in control of the situation. It's my fault for not taking care of it. It's my fault for not being more actively involved. It's my fault for trusting. It's my fault for tolerating that respect or disrespect for that matter. We talked about tolerating the other day. When you tolerate something, you're giving control to somebody else to disrespect you. And that gives you the opportunity to blame somebody else. That gives you the opportunity to be comfortable and blame your failures on somebody else. See, blame feels good in the moment, but long term, it's costly. Long term, it steals your clarity away. You can't see the solutions to your problems while you're staring at the excuses. See, when you're giving out excuses left and right on why you can't do something, instead of finding the excuses to do it, you lose the clarity on why you should do it. Blaming steals the momentum behind the option of getting it done. Because every time you blame somebody else or blame a situation, you pause your progress. You take a stop and like, that's it, I'm done. I can't do anything else until this happens. I can't do anything else until so and so does this job. I can't do anything until this. And so you're blaming everything else and you are procrastinating on your own future. You're giving up your own dreams. You're giving up your own destiny. You're taking time out. One of my biggest regrets I have being 54 years old is not having a family earlier. See, when I was in my 20s, I was so focused on building a business that I didn't care about relationships. I didn't care about having a family. I blamed it on the idea that, hey, I'll never find somebody good. I'll find somebody good after I turn 30. I'll find this, I'll find that, blah, 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 blah. And so I blamed how in God's green earth is my live on TikTok restricted for containing unoriginal or reproduced content? What? What is... There's no music playing. There's nothing going on. There's no videos. There's nothing. There's nothing. There's nothing. It's just me talking. Anyways, when you blame... Oh, I blame the idea behind not wanting to have kids because I wanted to focus on building a business. And every time you blame something, you pause your progress. You pause your progress. You pause your you pause your dreams. You push your dreams back behind. You delay them. You delay your destiny. And you know what? Blame steals your identity. Because you become a character in somebody else's story instead of the author of your own. See, when you blame your problems on other people, they are now the main focus of your story. They are the reason why you didn't get something done. They are the reason why you're late. They are the reason why you were this. Or they are the reason why that things aren't going as you planned. And so therefore you are no longer the major player. It's them. It's the action. It's whatever you blame. It's excuse. It's the excuse that you pulled out of your thin air to be comfortable, to take care of your fear, to take care of whatever. Because blame steals your identity. And blaming other people and blaming other events and blaming everything out there steals your leadership. It steals your ability to build. Because see, blame is a cage disguised as comfort. It keeps you safe from responsibility. But it keeps you trapped from possibility. See, when you're able to try and blame why you can't go back to school because of school trauma, all you're doing is finding an excuse not to overcome and try again. When you when you blame the idea of your addiction, that, I'm addicted to meth, I'm addicted to alcohol, I'm addicted to this, and it's just the way I am, and you blame it, I can't ever have a decent life because of it, you give control to the alcohol. You give control to the drugs as opposed to taking control for yourself. There are so many people out there that have overcome addictions You can do it. Blame steals your clarity because you can't see the solutions while you're finding excuses. Every time you blame somebody else or something else for why you can't do something, you pause your future. You pause your dreams. You pause your goals. You pause your progress. And you take away your own identity by giving it to somebody else. You take away your own identity by giving it to something else.
Is Kanchi supposed to jiggle like that?
Yes.
Okay.
And what happens is that blame turns into your comfort zone. And you get so comfortable using it that you end up living your whole life in it. You know, I finished my book the other day. It's actually live. I'm not going to promote it yet. But I'm going to promote it right around the first. I'm going to have actually two promotions. Although I'm thinking about holding off until the 15th, only because I'll be in Atlanta, and maybe I can try and maybe I can win a bestseller status or something like that, so if I can get enough people to buy it at the same time. But anyways, as I was reading the book and I was going through it, and I'd forgotten because I've been working on it for the last 6 months now, and I had forgotten in there that I talked about I talked extensively about my railroad job and about how the 9 different businesses that I've built over the years, from the security company to the internet service to the pizza place, and I realized that the railroad company. I mean, I after the house fire, I was really depressed, and I really didn't get even more depressed until after I lost the railroad job. And I never realized that until after reading it in the book the other night, in my book the other night, and it kind of clicked on me. And I'm like, holy crap, that really was the year from hell, or the 2 year from hell. My mom passing away. I rolled my Ford Explorer. I killed Bambi twice. I rear-ended a semi truck. My house burns down. The fiance dumped me. I drown and yeah. And then I end up getting fired from the railroad or terminated from the railroad.
Daddy?
Yeah.
I wish you could cook these, but you're on your line.
Yeah, well, give me a few minutes.
But I'm hungry.
Let him eat you hungry. And you don't want those. Those aren't the cheddar ones. Those are the chili cheese.
No.
Patty's in the kitchen. She can help you. Anyways, and I realized that of all that time period, all those years I built the railroad, the different business, the various different businesses, I had the railroad job. I had that comfort zone. And now here I was building a office supply store, turning it into a computer store. And I didn't have that comfort zone to fall back on anymore. It was 100% me. And for a while there, I blamed my railroad loss for some of the depression. I blamed my house fire for some of the depression. And it wasn't, it was actually a cumulation of all of it. And it stole my leadership. It took me to a point at that time where I was in some really dark spots. I had ideas on how to finish things off, if you know what I'm saying, where I wouldn't have to worry about things anymore. Yeah. But you know what the truth is? I had to learn to own my problems. Because you can't lead when you refuse to own something. And that's where I talk about my withstand. You got to withstand the fire. You got to withstand the job loss. You got to withstand the grief from your mother passing. You got to withstand the bankruptcies. You got to withstand the financial hardship. You got to withstand the car accidents. You got to withstand the killing of Bambis. You got to withstand rear-ending the semi trucks. You got to withstand all that stuff. You don't have to like it. You just got to outlast it. And once you outlast it, then you got to own it. You got to own that story. You got to take that and realize, hey, that's part of who you are. And take that and execute.
Can you help me open this?
Sure. And take that and execute on how you're going to proceed moving forward. Very good. There you go.
Wait.
Oh my God. Be nice to the cat.
No, she lands on her feet.
Not always. And once you own that stuff, that's when you can win. We'll get to that later. But ownership is the engine. Blame is your anchor. That ties you to the past. Blaming other people, blaming your circumstances, blaming the trauma, blaming the grief, blaming the reasons on why everything went sour, blaming all the yuck in your life. That's the anchor holding you back from rising to your full potential. You can't change what you refuse to confront. You can't rise if you keep hanging on to that anchor. So ownership is your engine. I mean, seriously, all kidding aside, if you're on a boat and you're hanging on to that anchor, you're not going to go anywhere. You got to let it go. Because every leader has a moment where they say, enough, I'm done. Every leader. I'm done waiting. I'm done watching. I'm done hiding. That moment is the birth of leadership. And ownership isn't about fault. It's about the future. Ownership isn't about the guilt. It's about your growth. Ownership isn't about shame. It's about your strength. Ownership says, I may not have caused it, but you know what? I'm going to control what happens next. Ownership says, I may not have chosen what happened, but I will choose how to respond. Ownership is saying, I might not wanted that fire to happen. I might not wanted to get fired. Might not wanted to rear end that semi truck. I might not wanted to end up with cancer. I might not wanted to be addicted to drugs. But you know what? I will win through it. And this is where withstand, own, and win activates. This is where you can survive on it. Withstand survives the pressure. Own claims your responsibility, and winning transforms your outcome. Because see, leadership begins the moment you stop blaming and start owning. And the way you do it is when you start owning it, leadership is built through repetition, not excuses, but repetition of excellence. Repetition. Let's say that again. Repetition. All right. We're just going to try and go simple here. REP. R stands for responsibility. See, leaders don't run from the responsibility. They run toward it. They're the weight that builds the strength. Yes, sweetheart.
I have a question. So you know how you told me that with a can of cheese, it has acid in it, and if you refrigerate it in the can, it'll poison and kill you?
Yeah, eventually.
Does that go for every canned product?
It could make you very sick.
So, if I were to get sick, can I file a lawsuit
Nope.
against what?
Nope. Because it's one of those things that you opened up and put it in the fridge. You should be eaten at that time.
No, I'm talking about a certain restaurant.
Oh, I don't know anything about that, but I'm doing my life.
Okay. Love you.
Love you too, babe. Responsibility. Leaders don't run from responsibility. They run towards it. Because responsibility is the weight that builds your strength. Execution. Leaders don't talk about what they'll do. They just do it. Because execution is the bridge between intention and impact. See, it's all fine and dandy to make plans, but until you actually put that pencil to that paper and start writing things down, it's just a thought. And once you put it on paper, it's just a dream, a plan. But until you take that paper and you step away from that desk and actually start grabbing that hammer and start building it, that's when the execution starts. Because next is purpose. Leaders don't move randomly. They move intentionally. They move with purpose. Purpose is the compass that keeps you aligned. See, when you try and have a decision, make a decision on where you're going and what you're going to do.
Dad, can you help me cut these up? My CC.
You,
Wait, put on the.
no. Let me cut it first. Leaders don't move randomly. They move
No dad
intentionally
tax.
with purpose.
You want a dad tax?
I'm doing my life. Hang on. No, thank you, sweetheart. I love you too.
You're not hungry?
I'm doing my life. I don't eat when I'm in front of people.
Well, you do it almost every time.
Anyways, because when you stop blaming, you finally have the energy to build your reps. And reps build the identity. And identity builds your confidence. And confidence, that builds your leadership. See, leadership isn't a moment. It's a pattern. People don't want to try and follow moments. They want to follow somebody who knows what they're doing. They want to follow somebody who's got a pattern in place, who has a structure, who has organization, who's confidence in what they're doing.
What? I had to cut
Leadership
my
involves not blaming people, but taking ownership, taking responsibility.
I saw those.
And so once the blame is gone, something powerful happens. You start building.
Rhoda, move it to the side.
You start building. You build habits. You build habits. You build discipline. You build consistency. You build courage. You build character.
Stop talking so loud.
Excuse me. Our ketchup farted.
Actually, sounds like yours.
And
I said
you know what? Dad tax.
Dad text for
Thank you.
today. So it's called Dad text for today.
You build character. And leaders don't wait for perfection. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They create momentum with what's in their hands. So you don't need more resources. You don't need more responsibility. You don't need more time. What you need is more truth. You need more action. Because leadership begins the moment you stop blaming. It begins the moment you start building. Where blame is a story that keeps you small. And ownership is what makes you unstoppable. Because you know what? You've withstood more than people know. And you actually have owned more than people seen. It's time to win in a way that nobody can ignore. Leadership begins the moment you stop blaming and start becoming the person your future is waiting for. It's time to step up. It's time to own your discipline, own your consistency, and make your next move your loudest one yet. If you want more, follow me in our school community. Go to my bio, take a look at it, join. It's free. And it's free in the school community. Check out the other cool things on my bio.